What's up, Gemini? This is going to be your love and romance reading for March through April 2023. Feel free to like, share, follow, comment, subscribe. Reach out for one-on-one reading. RunningGunTarot.com in the description box for all my social media and contact info and payment methods. Although the payment methods should be in the description box as well. So reach out for a private, personal, one-on-one read, or if you catch me on a live stream on YouTube, Running Gun Tarot. There's a reduced price read there for live viewers. I try to go on daily. I'm going to be going on more frequently now that I got some backup. Got a new laptop here, so if you see me looking down, it's because I'm multi-streaming below as well on YouTube. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages at this time for Gemini love, March through April. If you're not a Gemini, feel free to apply this to your third house as well if you're a cross-watcher. Let's see what comes out here. Spirit. So they say the first card is the strongest card. Five of Wands in the upright, coming out of conflict. Okay. I have to get my fancy voice on as I drink my coffee and I say coming out of conflict. So that's going to be your theme as far as love and romance. I mean, anyone walking into your life, you're not going to want to butt heads. You're going to want to nip things in the bud early and often. Okay, if there's no compatibility, you're not going to try to force it. You've been there, you've done that. You're coming out of overthinking. You're coming out of worrying here with the Nine of Swords in the reverse position. Because you have self-sabotage by trying to fit things in places where they don't fit, if you know what I mean. Relationships and dynamics. But you've learned that and you've processed that. And you're going to be very vigilant moving forward. Now, obviously, there's always a balance between not trying to overthink things. You don't necessarily want to fall on the spectrum of fearful of getting hurt here with the Eight of Swords, overthinking, Three of Swords in the upright. This is that kind of concern, cause, not wanting to get your heart broken is an easy excuse to remain shut off from the world and closed off, and closed-hearted. And so you want to make sure that you're not doing that as well with your approach here. Okay, but you want to call it out early and often. If something's not working, don't feel like you need to make it fit or work. If you don't have the same values as somebody else, or whatnot. But I do see some consistency here. I think with that approach and that mindset, it's going to lead you to meet people that are really meant for you, stable people that share that same outlook, mature people that may have incurred some heartbreaks as well in their past. So they know not to fall into the pitfalls of rushing into something so soon and getting their heart broken. So I almost feel as though that finally something interesting that we're seeing here is the Death card coming out after the Lovers card in the reverse. So it's almost as if finally this saga, if there's been, twin flame soulmates, divine masculines, divine feminines to meet each other in the past couple of years since 2020, it's almost as if one route was to jump into the next relationship immediately, and another choice was to go inward and really develop your own kind of spiritual persona and relationship with Source. So those that chose the longer way, I think, developed and grew by leaps and bounds. And that's finally, that period of seclusion or isolationism is finally coming to an end here, from what I could see, for that Death card to come out here after the Lovers card in the reverse. To me, that's very apropos of a new beginning based off the back of something that was strategized here with the Seven of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Cups in the upright. Put it into my veins. You're watching a man drink his fucking lifeline. but my mustache is kind of conducive to me having to wipe my face every time I drink. And I just feel as though that, here we go, got something in my pocket. With the Fool card in the reverse, you were hesitant to jump into something so soon, okay? You didn't want to do that. You didn't want to go that route. You didn't want to, it came across as like a cop-out for you, to jump into something so soon, knowing that, that it was a cop-out, knowing that, hey, if I didn't really do the work, then I don't want to, jump into something that's going to lead me, to the same place, which is this kind of like heartbreak city here. You would have rather waited and taken the longer route, which is what you've done here from what I can see with the Star card in the upright. But you get exactly what you want, and you're not settling. Is what the payoff for taking the longer route is, because you're becoming clearer as to what it is that you want, and you're not willing to settle without kicking the tires and seeing what somebody is really about, as far as their, their value system. Okay. And that's what the Pentacles represent. They represent our values. And so you're over and done with that. You're over and done with your values and your worthiness and your what you care about being kicked to the curb and or not considered. You showing effort in a way that's particular to you and that not being acknowledged, you're done and over with that. Because it was a form of self-sabotage with the Ten of Swords in reverse. And so you're done with that. Seven of Cups in the upright. And you're going to be taking your time next time you find or see, what it is that you're trying to find or see in someone. Okay, but you're manifesting nonetheless. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised for the Tower card to come out here. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. You're not going to have to kiss any fishes or frogs here. I think that Spirit has a gift for you. Okay? Something that you're going to want to invest in. And someone that's going to want to invest in you. It could be that you do value some sense of like spirituality and things like that. And somebody's going to see that, and they're really going to kind of understand that that's your version of self-love. Okay, with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it's self-love. Yeah, you're waiting for your emotional counterpart. Okay, with the King of Cups in the upright position, this is waiting for your emotional counterpart, someone who's on the same wavelength as you as far as emotional maturity. Okay. Yeah, I see you coming off the market. That's what the Nine of Pentacles is. It's coming off the market, going by non-traditional means or methods by which you might come across somebody. Okay, but I see victory and success here. I mean, I'm telling you, man, I feel as though that you're going to be garnering a lot of, like, green eyes, a lot of jealousy here, for some reason or another. With the Queen of Wands in the reverse, This is going to be no more of like, looking to others and wanting and hoping, what they have. This is full blown, you know, them looking at you and maybe even, surprised at, who you landed with. We talked a lot about like outkicking your coverage in the last reading here. See, I feel like this resurrection is you. I'm getting that this resurrection is you. Like, I'm bringing sexy back. Like, that's the coffee hit, right? And I think that people are seeing that and they're like, fuck, man. Like, it's almost as if they, like, I just love that trope of when people are precious with their coffee and they hold it with two hands. Now, this might sound crazy, but it feels like somebody was like, they didn't want you to make it towards a certain place in the year or in the season or whatever, because that would have almost like ensured that like your downfall or your lack of success. But what I'm getting is that you made it. You made it to that place that they didn't want you to make it. Okay. And so because of that, you're kind of hitting your stride, is what I'm getting here. Or how it's really coming across is that you're hitting your stride. And I think that anyone that's rooting against you or what have you, they didn't necessarily want to see that for you, because I feel as though that would have meant that that would have ensured a certain amount of success, or that meant that you were gonna keep on going despite whatever. Yeah, so and so that's for like the past, or for maybe, I don't know if you want to say haters, but that's what they kind of, I think, at the back of their minds were like ruminating about, is the fact that like if you kept on, then that eventually would have led to some sort of like, you didn't quit. You didn't pack up and go home. And you made it on your own kind of accord here. And so I think that because you made those sacrifices and you sat in the thick of it and you didn't like just bail on your dream or your vision, even though someone bailed on you potentially or others doubted you, then that's how or why you're going to have the success that you're going to have. And I keep on seeing this essence of maybe somebody wanting to come back or somebody wanting to challenge you, but you're just like totally not concerned about them. Okay? You've moved on emotionally. So if there's any others that do want to come crawling back, you've just really kind of moved on. Like, I don't want to say that you had to wait for this connection, but I'm getting that you did anyways. And it's almost like apropos of like when all of this success is about to hit you. So it's good timing because the King of Pentacles is like clad with like, new technology, new laptop, maybe some new threads, things like that. So it feels good. If you were one of those that took the longer route, I'm here to tell you that it was worth the wait, For those of you that took the short way and jumped into a new relationship without being mindful or conscientious, you might have gotten burnt again, to be honest. But I do see, every reading that I've been doing so far has been showing us that significant other and a high caliber, high quality person because you've waited. Okay. Let's see. I think we could end it there and then move on to Cancerian, unless, Spirit, do you have anything else? Any final juicy messages for Gemini or third house cross watcher? Remember, the third house is the magician. That's as above, so below. Okay. Yeah, I just feel like your spirit team is like going to bat for you. The Nine of Wands is like your spirit team, like they have your back. Like it's vigilant and watchful over your own maturity, and you're not willing to just let, and it's based off of hard fucking work. And so if you're not just letting anyone into your kingdom, or anyone from the past for that matter, it's rightly so, because that's your new form of self-love, and you're strategically, being this way for a reason, okay? Because you have been betrayed in the past, and so you're just not going to let anyone who's anyone, come towards you and try to knock you off or misdirect you or misguide you or disrupt your peace. Okay, you're only taking offers that are divinely ordained by up above, and that goes for energetically. Okay, whereas before I'm not really getting that you were doing that. You were still green, you were still unconscious, but now I feel as though that since you have this experience under your belt, you're fully formed, you're fully aware, and you're fully conscious, and you're at the height of your powers for who you're kind of like selecting here as like a suitable partner for you. So your approach is that because you've become suitable for yourself, with yourself, in yourself. All right. So I'm going to leave it there, Gemini. I love you. As always, feel free to reach out. All my contact info is available below. Holler at your boy. Let's move on to Cancerian. Peace.